Randy Tramp here. Yankton, South Dakota was a great week. Of course, Christmas week. We had family and friends over, and that was a wonderful time. Now we're in between Christmas and New Year's. I won't be getting a lot of my rewrites, editing done this next week. We have another busy week in store for us. And so a couple days. Monday we're headed to Sioux Falls. So I'll have Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday we're headed on a mini vacation. And so I will periscope from there. Try to put this. There we go. And so some of the things that's been happening with me. Good morning. Some of the things have been happening with me, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into the newspaper, the events of the last week. I'm reading Tammy Deeran's book. It's a comedy romantic, and I really enjoy it. I like books that I like to be around people, the types of characters that are in the book. And these characters that are in Tammy Deeran's book is ones that I really enjoy being around. And so I do that. Well, let's get into the news. Of course, there is Star Wars. We're hoping we can go this next week. That's really our plan. Carrie Fisher talks about Star Wars, and so that's one thing. Another one that came out is Bergdahl faces life imprisonment. Oh boy, my goodness, his life. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. They can't brush us under the rug and just let it go. But it doesn't mean that this guy spends his entire life in prison. He caused people to die. Not directly, but he did. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know how I feel about that. Any thoughts on Bergdahl? He's the one that left his unit and went and got captured by the Taliban. So here's an interesting story. This man, Sergeant Emir Hasdek, he is in the Marines, and he is serving America as a citizen. And he is right. The article's on him, how he wanted to join the military and serve the country that helped him. And I remember when I was in the Navy, there was a lot of Filipinos that were in the Navy that were there because they wanted to serve the country that helped them. I also remember a young man, Iraqi, that moved here into Yankton, and Bajah. And when he grows up, he's in high school right now. When he grows up, he wants to join the military. In fact, his sister has already joined the National Guards because he just loves the military. Then we had a debate. And boy, firestorm. And so I pretty much try to stay out of politics. I think it's all just, you don't know what the truth is anymore. Either side, you just plain don't know what the truth is. Here was an interesting article. This was on the new ship that's being christened, And Susie Buffett lives in Omaha, wife of Warren Buffett. And she christens the USS Omaha. And here's a big picture of the USS Omaha. So I was in the Navy 8 years, and so that brought a little bit of enjoyment to me. It's an article I'm definitely going to read. Nebraska, hi Nebraska. And so the USS Omaha, and so I'm going to definitely read that article, maybe do a blog about it later on in the week. We'll see. Here's my favorite. I always enjoy looking at the bestseller list, and looks like kids went out this week. I'm sure Christmas presents for kids. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm going to have to read that. I haven't read any of those books, but there's times I just love to go into a kid's world, and so I may do that. Have enough knock-knock jokes. I don't think I need any more of those. Rogue Lawyer. That looked pretty good. I enjoy Grissom, how he writes. Belmont has a foot of snow. Really? We had 8 inches yesterday, and so we have more on the way. Cross Justice. Now, see me's Nicholas Sparks. Ooh, that was good. I enjoyed that book. I really enjoyed that book. Let's go to the next section. And of course, Steve Harvey's universal size blooper. Oh my goodness. I think he tried to kind of bring some comedy. He got on Twitter and wished everybody a Merry Easter. So he got a lot of criticism and a lot of support. Hey Kurt, good morning. So, wow. And here's some pictures from South Dakota, cornfield with a rainbow and some deer. We see deer all. Hey Russia, we see deer all the time. Try, when we're traveling, especially at night, and we see one deer. Oh my goodness, we almost have to come to a standstill because those deer will run at the headlights. And when there's one deer, there's most of the time there's more than that. So usually we see them coming in, about 2 or 3 of them at a time. Syrians find home in Clarkston, Georgia. We're here to welcome these refugees and make them feel good because they've lost everything. That's a community. That is a community. Students hatching salmon eggs. Now that sounds interesting to me. That really sounds interesting. I'm going to have to dig more into that. I can get into that. Drones. You got to pay for your drones now. You have to register them. They're not charging much yet. So, good morning, Rod. Joseph, hi. Drones. And hi, hello, Joseph. I'm a freelance writer, so I always, whenever I get a story from a book, I'm an author, bought a book, I always look into it. I want to know that world. Well, there you go. This is Randy Tramp. from Yankton, South Dakota. You have a wonderful day. We'll be back a little bit later. If you want to subscribe, do it. We'll be back a little bit later. My kids will be up, and it's 20 to 8 a.m. And so we'll do some comics and kids, and I never know what my kids are going to say. And so until then, have a great day.